नारायण तू पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तू सिद्ध बुद्ध तू स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तू साई सविता पावक तू ब्रह्मवज्र तू यहोव शक्ति तू येशु पिता प्रभु तू रुद्र विष्णु तू राम कृष्ण तू रहीम ताओ तू साई रहीम ताओ तू वासुदेव गोविश्वरूप तू चिदानंद हरि तू अद्वितीय तू अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तू साई आत्मलिंग शिव तू साई आत्मलिंग शिव तू
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
भज वदना गणनाथ गजानन
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
महागणपते पाहि गजानन
गणपते पाहि गजानन
महागणपते पाहि गजानन
गणपते पाहि गजानन
गजानन साई गजानन
गजानन साई गजानन
गजानन साई गजानन
गजानन साई गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन
गजवदना गणनाथ गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
महागणपते पाहि गजानन
गणपते पाहि गजानन
गजानन साई गजानन
गजानन साई गजानन
गजानन साई गजानन
गजानन साई गजानन
गौरी नंदन बाल गजानन
आत्मा राम आनंदरमण
आत्मा राम अनंतरमण
आत्मा राम राम आनन्दरमण
आत्मा राम आनन्दरमण
अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण
अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण
अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण
अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण
आत्मा राम आनन्दरमण
आत्मा राम आनन्दरमण
भवभयहरण वन्दित चरण
भवभयहरण वन्दित चरण
भवभयहरण वन्दित चरण
भवभयहरण वन्दित चरण
रघुकुलभूषण राजीवनयन
रघुकुलभूषण राजीवनयन
रघुकुलभूषण राजीवनयन
रघुकुलभूषण राजीवनयन
आदिनारायण अनन्तशयन
आदिनारायण आनन्दशयन
आदिनारायण अनन्तशयन
आदिनारायण आनन्दशयन
सच्चिदानन्द साई नारायण
सच्चिदानन्द साई नारायण
सच्चिदानन्द साई नारायण
सच्चिदानन्द साई नारायण
आत्मा राम आनन्दरमण
आत्मा राम आनन्दरमण
अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण
अच्युत केशव हरिनारायण
आत्मा राम आनन्दरमण
आत्मा राम आनन्दरमण
भवभयहरण वन्दित चरण
भवभयहरण वन्दित चरण
रघुकुलभूषण राजीवनयन
रघुकुलभूषण राजीवनयन
आदिनारायण अनन्तशयन
हरिनारायण अनन्तशयन
सच्चिदानन्द साई नारायण
सच्चिदानन्द साई नारायण
सच्चिदानन्द साई नारायण
सच्चिदानन्द साई नारायण
आत्मा राम आनन्दरमण
गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतो गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै तत्र प्रविद्वान् प्रतिशश्चतस्रः तमेवं विद्वान् अमृत इह भवति नान्यः पन्था अयनाय विद्यते सहस्रशीर्षं देवं विश्वाक्षं विश्वशम्भुवम् विश्वं नारायणं देवमक्षरं परमं पदम् विश्वतः परमान् नित्यं विश्वं नारायणगुं हरिम् विश्वमेवेदं पुरुषस्तद्विश्वमुपजीवति पतिं विश्वस्यात्मेश्वरगुं शाश्वतगुं शिवमच्युतम् नारायणं महाज्ञेयं विश्वात्मानं परायणम् नारायणपरो ज्योतिरात्मा नारायणः परः नारायणपरं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं नारायणः परः नारायणपरो ध्याता ध्यानं नारायणः परः यच्च किञ्चित् जगत् सर्वं दृश्यते श्रूयतेऽपि वा अन्तर्बहिश्च तत्सर्वं व्याप्य नारायणस्थितः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Om Sri Sai Ram, offering my humble salutations at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Respected speakers for today's moral class, Sri V. Praveen, revered teachers and dear students. Sri Praveen Vemula joined Sri Satyasai School at Ooty, shifted later to Prashantilayam, and went on to complete his schooling from Sri Satyasai Higher Secondary School. He joined Vrindavan campus in the year 1996 and completed his undergraduation in biosciences with a gold medal. Later, he moved to Prashantilayam campus for MSc in biosciences and secured a GPA of 5 out of 5. Subsequently, in the year 2001, Bhagwan sent him to Loma Linda University, California, United States, to pursue his master's in healthcare administration. From 2003 onwards, he is serving as special assistant to the director at Super Specialty Hospital at Whitefield. Sri Praveen played a crucial role in starting off the nursing and paramedical courses at Super Specialty Hospital, Whitefield. He won several awards. The most memorable one is when he secured first rank in summer course in Indian culture and spirituality, organized by our university in the year 2001, for which he had received the prize from the divine hands. Sri Praveen is also a member of American College of Healthcare Executives, member of Healthcare Executives of California, member of Research Foundation of Hospital Administration, India. Now I welcome Sri Praveen to address all of us. He will be speaking on the topic Sri Satya Sai, the Eternal Companion. Sri Praveen.
దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలరా ఎంతటి వాడైన దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలరా అసురుడైన భూసురుడైన అఖండ తెలివి గలవాడైన దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలరా ఎంతటి వాడైన దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలరా విద్య నేర్చి వాదాదిన గాని పద్యములెన్నో పాడిన గాని కొండ గుహలలో నుండిన గాని కూర్చుని జపములు చేసిన గాని దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలరా ఎంతటి వాడైన దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలరా యోగాభ్యాసము చేసిన గాని భాగవతాదులు చూసిన గాని బాగుగా గడ్డము పెంచిన గాని పట్టెనామములు పెట్టిన గాని దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలెరా. ఎంతటి వాడైన దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలెరా. ముక్కు మూసి జపమాచరించిన మ్రొక్కుచు బాగా నిలచి ఉండిన మ్రొక్కి మ్రొక్కి అంత ఏడ్చిన గాని దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలెరా. ఎంతటి వాడైన దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలెరా. భక్తితో మిమ్ము కొలచిన గాని పుట్టపత్తికే వచ్చిన గాని పూజలు బాగా చేసిన గాని పుడిమయంతయో తిరిగిన గాని దయచేత నీ దయచేత సాయి దయచేత స్వామి దయచేత ధన్యులు కావలెరా. ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరామ్. Offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan. In one of my interactions with Swami, after he gave me a personal interview, that was the last personal interview in the physical form, and he said, whenever you want to be near me, just think of all the things that you have had with me when I am there with you close. So it's always a great blessing to remember the incidences, the experiences that Swami has given us over a period of time, and each time we think of it, we narrate it. Even the people who listen also go through that. That's what I have found in this period of lockdown. Whenever we hear to devotees' experiences, we sort of get transformed to that period, that time, that moment when Bhagwan gave that experience to that person, and we go through it as if we are there in person at that time. The song I just sang, it's very significant that it is written by Bhagwan himself, and it gives the essence of everything, in the sense that only with his compassion that we can become, we can sanctify our lives and we can reach our goal. So finally, the only thing that matters is his compassion. It's very funny when I think that when I was a student in Vrindavan or in Puttaparthi, I never ventured to give a talk because I was always scared of coming in front of the podium, and all the teachers would know that I never participated in any of the elocutions or any of the, I never lifted my hands for any of this. Interestingly, just before I went to the US, Bhagwan mentioned it to the Vice Chancellor that this fellow was very shy, but now I am giving him training so that he can talk. And every day in the interview, he used to ask me questions and make me answer those questions. The first speech that I gave in front of Swami, I got a notice of 1 second. It was the first time ever I was giving a public talk, and Swami said, you should speak about the experiences from the US. And the person who spoke before me, he exhausted all the experiences that I wanted to say, and I had to get up and I think it was Swami's way of showing that it's not you who is talking, it's him who is talking. And I have had this experience several times. Even during the Aradhana Mahotsavam, there was a talk to be done by one of the senior devotees, and the previous day he said that he's not able to come. And finally, I ended up sharing my experiences on our hospital YouTube channel, and that the notice was very short. Even for this talk, I just got a day's notice. Yesterday, a director sir called saying that the person who is to talk could not come. So I think it is a Swami's way of showing that it's he who is talking but not me. Coming to my experiences during my students' days, I joined in Swami's Ooty school in 1988. It's very fortunate that I was able to get in middle of the course. Generally, we get an opportunity either in the first class or in the 11th or in the university BSc or in the post-graduation. But I could get in my 6th class, and half of my 7th class, Swami shifted all of us to Puttaparthi. And very significant moment in my life, for which I chose this title, saying that Satya Sai, the eternal companion. The first time we had come from Ooty, around 10 of us had come to Parthi. That was the first darshan as a student. As soon as we came and sat down, immediately the interview room doors opened and Swami came straight to us and said, when did you come? And created vibhuti and gave a banana and said, you all must be hungry, you eat. It was as if that Swami had known us for a very long time, and we were thinking that it's the first time we are coming in front of Swami. That showed that he is our eternal companion. Be it several lives, he is there with us and he is guarding and guiding us. Another incident which comes to my mind, as primary school students, we had a very great opportunity of coming for darshan on Thursdays and Sundays. Many of my classmates, even my own brother, used to get several opportunities where Swami calls, you have the Swami does this, and then there is a 100 meters dash to Swami's room. And somehow, for some reason, I didn't get that opportunity at all. Almost I was pretty disappointed with that. At one point, almost towards the end of my 7th, one day Swami called me specifically first. He was just standing in front of us. He told, you go. And then after that, he called other boys. So I was going in the front and Swami was walking behind me. And we entered the interview room. And Swami said, go to the dining hall. The first time I was going into Swami's interview room, so he only pointed out how to go. And I was going in, there's a narrow passage between Swami's interview room and the dining hall. And there are a lot of almirahs on the side. It was pretty dark and I didn't see what was there. But because Swami was there, I was just seeing straight and walking. And in a moment, I was in the air. There was some Dettol liquid that had fallen on the ground, and I slipped on it. I was in the air, and Swami caught me in his arms, and that was very symbolic in the sense that it may be just a slip there, but he has caught me from the slip of life, and he has taken care of me. Going forward, at every moment in my student career, he showed that it is very special for me, be it choosing the specialization after 10th. And one very funny thing that Swami always did was, whichever subject I was very good at, he used to drop it at that phase. Till my 10th class, maths was a breeze for me, maths and chemistry. And in the 10th class, he said, you take bioscience. So maths fell off on the way. And then in the second year of BSc in Brindavan, I asked him again, Swami, what should I do? And he said, you go bioscience. So chemistry also fell off on the way. And then after I finished my, in the Brindavan, has been a very memorable experience for me, that most of my significant events in my life have happened here. I was not a very bright student to begin with. Bhagwan gave me the gold medal in Bioscience BSc Honours, and that happened here in Vrindavan. And another significant event was after a gap of many years, Swami resumed the summer course in 2000. Before I come to this, I will narrate why sometimes we may think that Swami says something, but that doesn't happen. So in my first year, in my final year of, in my first year of MSc, I had asked, BSc, I had asked Swami, what should I do next? And Swami said, you should do management. So for the winter vacations, I did a lot of studies of CAT and all those competitive course books, and then and also for the summer vacation, generally I stay till Swami goes to Kodai. That year I went home early so that I can study and write the entrance exam. I took Swami's permission and went. That summer was very significant in the sense that it was no play, all study. And whenever I got bored of studying, I used to listen to Swami's discourses. The summer passed, the MBA entrance happened, I got selected, went to the group discussion, and finally the interview stage. The Vice Chancellor was S.V. Giri sir. In the interview, he asked, why do you want to shift from science to management? My answer was, Swami wants me to do that, sir. But he didn't buy that argument. He said, in our institute, we want to give importance to research, and since you have got gold medal in bioscience, we want you to stay in bioscience and do research. So that day evening, as some of us know, that there was always a chance of getting a seat through Swami's quota. So I thought Swami may give me that, so I went and asked Swami, they told me to continue in MSc, please talk to them. Okay, MSc chahi, do MSc, he told and went off. I was furious because that summer, all my classmates got an opportunity to go to Kodai with Swami, and I missed that because I went to prepare for my exam, and here I was left with nothing, no MBA nor Kodai. So I was upset with Swami, internally of course. And then time passed, and in 2000, in my first year summer vacations, first time Swami held a summer course after a gap of some time. The summer course was very enjoyable. We had terrific opportunities with Swami and also terrific food in the hostel. It was as if things are going and I'll finish my MSc and then be done with it kind of situation. Then the final day, the valedictory function, suddenly Shiva Shankar Sai sir called and said, Praveen, you are asked to sit in the front. I was surprised why. So I went and sat in the front. Swami came and sat on the dais. Then he looked at me and gave a smile. Why Swami is smiling at me now? Then Swami called S.V. Giri sir to make an announcement. And I was surprised to hear my name saying that I got 100 on 100 in the summer course. And the beauty of it is, all the questions in that year's summer course came from Bhagwan's discourses, because I had an opportunity to listen to Swami's discourses often during the summer vacation. I could answer that pretty well and then got 100. You may have, the video is being played about Swami creating the ring for me, and the joy in Swami's eyes when my turn came to take Path Namaskar and he gave me the ring. This was a very significant event because later in one of the interviews, Swami told the elders, till I gave ring to this boy, he was nobody. But see, now he is very near to me. Then after that, you all would have heard a term called farm boy. Suddenly Swami started talking to me a lot and got several opportunities to serve Swami and also to be close to him in the final year. Final year, for my birthday, Swami gave me a special watch which he showed it to everybody and gave. And then after the year got over, we came to Vrindavan, and that year Swami didn't go to Kodaikanal. We got several opportunities in the Trai Vrindavan. And once we went back to Parthi, after probably around 10 days or so, Swami called me and one more boy and said, why are you sitting idle? You go and start doing research. Till then, research boys had several opportunities with Swami. So we thought, okay, this is another opportunity for us to be close to Swami and enjoy his proximity. When we were taking Namaskar, he said, this is a temporary thing. I'll give you some other work. We thought, okay, Swami will take us for doing some serving to some VIPs or something like that. So we were very happy. Swami called S.V. Giri sir, and then we joined the research. Exactly after 18 days of research, Swami called us again with the elders, and then he asked S.V. Giri sir, if you remember, my MBA interview was done by S.V. Giri sir, and he had made this statement saying that he wants me to do research. And see how Bhagavan is the creator, he is Sarvadevata Swarupa, he can do anything. But he gives importance to the words of the elders whom he has placed himself. And as per his wish, he wanted us to do research. But actually he wanted me to do management. So he called all of us in, and then he asked Giri sir's permission that I want to take these boys for management. Will you approve? And he was saying, Swami, they are your boys. We don't have any. Then he said, no. You go and ask your parents. He said, Swami, they will obviously say whatever you want us to do, they will agree. They said, no, you go and ask them. Evening again, we reported to Swami that they are very happy. Now he said, call them in. He called them for an interview, and he himself asked permission from our parents for us to take this journey. And then we were though we were elated that Swami has selected us to work for him, a little saddened because we were getting a lot of opportunities. And here Swami was talking of sending us to the US, and we will miss those opportunities. So then we said, Swami, will be far away from you. He said, no, it's only a 3 months course. You'll come back. So the previous year, Ashwin and Ajit had gone, and they came back in 3 months. So we thought, okay, this is a short-term separation from Swami, and we'll be back in no time. By the evening, it became 6 months. By next day, it became 1 year. And then he said, 1 year pakka, you will come back in 1 year's time. And then he said, there's a small exam that you need to write. You go to, he called us, gave us a lunch in his own dining table, and then said, go to Vrindavan, and there is an exam that you need to write. You go and write that. After we came out of the interview room, we found out what is the exam. Then one of the elders said that you have to write GRE and TOEFL. Because our ambition was to be with Swami throughout our lives, we never heard of those terms. And when we went and found out from other boys, they said GRE is Graduate Record Examination and TOEFL is Test of English as Foreign Language. And when we reached Bangalore, we were given books. If any of you would have seen, they're all this thick, Kaplan Review, Princeton Review and all. They are very thick books, and very look will scare you off. One of our elders took us to one of the coaching centers in Indiranagar, We went there and the instructor there welcomed us. And then he said, okay, come, we'll discuss this. And he asked, so when are you planning to give GRE and TOEFL? We said, another week, sir, we should give because our admissions are due. He was shocked. He said, people study for 6 months to give this course, so we don't want to take you as our student because our pass percentages will get disturbed. He said, but since you are coming from such a reputed institution, we will allow you to use our computer lab, but we cannot enroll you into our courses. Then we went back to Vrindavan, and Swami asked us to stay in the Central Trust room in the Gokulam. Before this, there is one more this thing that the coaching center person said, to write this exam, you need a passport. So can you show me your passport? We said, we don't have a passport. Then he said, passport itself, in those days, Tatkal used to take 20 days. So it's out of question that you can write in a week's time these exams. We went to the elder who was guiding us on instructions of Swami and said, let's go and apply. He said, the previous year, boys got in a day's time, so let us go and apply. We'll pray to Swami, he said. We went and applied at 10:30. There's one Ashraya Foundation next to the Raj Bhavan, Ashraya Travels. So we gave there and they said, we'll apply for Tatkal, it will take 20 days, sir. You can wait for the call from them. 10:30 we submitted our application. At 2:30 we got a call from the passport office. The passport officer, we had also written the need for urgent passport for us. The passport officer who was handling our case, he was getting transferred to Singapore. And just that year, Bhagwan had inaugurated the super specialty hospital. He was not a devotee, but he wanted to do his contribution to that mission of Swami. And he approved our passport, and 3 o'clock we got it in our hand. Probably even the most influential people in a country may not be able to get that quickly. One more significant thing was, when we were applying, they asked us for an address proof. And we didn't have an address in Bangalore. So we requested KLN Swami sir, who was a principal at that time, and he gave a letter saying that we are residents of the hostel. So my permanent address is the hostel. And the police verification that was to happened when I renewed my passport a few years back. Then we went back to, then we went and applied. We need a passport to apply for GRE. When we applied, the exam date that we got, that was on Monday we applied, and Thursday was the only date available in the month. So we had no choice but to take that. And as we opened the books, we were terrified in the sense that it was all about maths, logical reasoning and all that. And maths, Swami had made me leave it in 10th class. But fortunately, as I said, whatever Swami does is good for us. Though I may have felt that I was going to join MBA, that the time that I spent reading those things were actually for now. It was not for that moment. And so we know that whatever Swami does is good for us. It may not be at that moment, but when only later in the hindsight we know that what he does is good for us. And one more terrifying thing for me as a bioscience student was that I have never worked on a computer. So first time in our computer lab in the hostel, when I went to browse the net, that was the first time I was browsing, then I looked at the keyboard and said, this fellow doesn't know how to write ABCD in a straight line. he has put ABCD everything. TOEFL had a requirement of a 1,000-worded essay, and if I had to search all those keys and type, then it would have been a disaster for me. Fortunately for GRE, it was 5 A, B, C, D, E. Those are 5 multiple choice questions. So I figured out where those keys are there on the keyboard. And since those books are voluminous and some of the words that they use, we generally don't use in normal day-to-day usage. Like for example, for the first time I heard the proposal was tabled. I thought table is there, but where is that proposal getting tabled there? So it was pretty difficult in the sense that the words were difficult, and even the comprehension passages were very complex. Then we understood why that person was saying that you need minimum 6 months to study to write this exam. We were thinking, Swami, we were very happy sitting at your lotus feet, pressing your feet, but now you have sent us here and we may not pass this exam with all these difficulties. We skipped all our meals, had 1 meal a day, and close to 18 hours we were trying to go through those books, skipping it through. And on the final day we went to the exam, and most of our boys will know that we say we saw stars. So every question we were seeing stars. And fortunately for me, ABCDE was very easy for me. So we went on pressing the answers, and finally when the final results showed up, it was online tests, results come up automatic. We got very good score, and we had an option to send it to the university straight away. And we went back to Parthi, and Swami was waiting for us. As soon as we reached the veranda, Swami called us. First thing he said is, "Cheppe kada, very easy exam. You people only were very scared. It's very easy." Then he said, "See, I told these people to go and study. They were eating and sleeping all the time," he said. Then Swami asked us to bring his own weighing machine, which is there in the dining hall. That was brought and kept in front of Swami, and Swami asked me to climb on that. Before I did, he asked, "How much weight were you?" I said, "Swami, 72. And when I saw the weight, it was 77, 5 kgs. He said, "See, I told you they were only eating. The fact was, we were starving to be able to complete the thing. Here, the 5 divine kgs that I got, even now I am not able to get rid of them." And Swami said, "See, very, very easy. They didn't even have to do any effort. It just happened." Then I was more terrified about the TOEFL. Inkemi Swami said, "Swami, TOEFL undi." Like that Swami did, and then he told us to go. Next day morning, we got a call from the university saying that since our medium of education was English throughout our education career, they said that we will waive it for you. So for the first time in probably the history where TOEFL was waived, and when we went and told Swami, he looked at me and smiled, because I think my prayer was, I was scared of typing on that keyboard. The best part was, in the US, just like how we have now, all the submissions were online, and Swami's grace, within a week of going to the US, I was able to master the keyboard, which is all Swami's grace. Then we went to Swami, and we were having great time with Swami. And then one day suddenly Swami said, "Now you send in your applications." When we found out, they said the application date has passed, because we are going for the fall session and we were already in August. Generally the applications get over in the summer session itself. But we applied, and considering the background the great work that our institutions have been rendering to the society, they have made an exception and they have accepted our applications, and we got an admission. A special committee sat and approved our applications. Then Swami said, now you apply for visa. The thing with Swami is that he makes hurdles come very quickly sometimes, and at that point it looks like it is checkmate. At every point you have a checkmate, but we know who is moving the pieces on the chessboard. So we applied. It was we had to mail in the application, and then we were called for an interview, and it happened on 12th of September was the interview. Swami said, now you pack your baggages and go to Chennai, and you go from there itself, he said. And then we went on, we landed in Chennai. Ramani uncle, our state president at that time, he received us at the airport, and we went to his house. That day it was almost evening, and in an hour's time he got a call from his daughter asking him to switch on the TV. And at that point, when we switched on the TV, we saw the Twin Towers crashing and the Pentagon bombing and all that, and it was a very tense news across the channels. And next day the embassy was closed, so our appointment got postponed. It opened on 13th, and it was like a heavily guarded fortress. And we went early morning, stood 1.1. We are all used to standing 1.1 for darshan and running to Swami. So we stood 1.1, and then when our turn came, nobody was even smiling in that full embassy. One American lady was there, African American, and we had mailed in the applications ahead. So, and both of us were standing one behind the other. Then she called. Then she saw both applications were like ditto, means almost same, except the names were changed. And the person who prepared the application for us, he had actually made a Xerox of most of the things, because the person who was taking us to the US under Swami's instruction, his financials were there and all those details were there, and it was a copy. It was done by somebody in the US and they were mailed here. And that person had put a second copy, one post-it behind, which was still in the application, which we didn't know. That lady showed us that. It says, whom are you trying to fool? Where are your where is your bank statement? Then we were in a shock suddenly. He said, do you have scholarship? We said, no, we don't have. How is this person related to you? We said, he is Baba's devotee and he is taking care of all the financials and all that. He said, I don't believe all these things. And she said, I am rejecting your visa. Get a scholarship and come back. It was as if the entire world has fallen on us at that moment. Till then, Swami had made several references to our going to the US in his speeches. It had come in Sanatan Sarthi and all that, and that, like, we were saying, how can we go back and show our face to Swami now? We couldn't even remove that post-it note from that application form, which said duplicate copy. And we called, Mr. Ramani sir was waiting outside. We told him this is what has happened. Though we were dejected, he was saying, don't worry, Swami is there, he'll take care, he said. And then he conveyed it to Chiranjeev Rao sir, who was the secretary at that time. So Chiranjeev Rao sir went to Swami at 3 o'clock. This was in the morning. At 3 o'clock when he went, he told Swami, this is what has happened, what should they do? And Swami just looked into the ceiling and he smiled and said, let them be there. Ask them to stay in my house in Sundaram and be there. They'll get their visa at 3 o'clock, he told him. So the same thing was conveyed back to us, and we were thinking, like, how is it going to happen now? So as a human beings, we try to do different things. So because S.M. Krishna sir was the chief minister, we tried approaching his office that whether they can help us in getting the visa. And they were saying like, how can they reject? This is a prestige issue for Karnataka. So he sent out a letter to the embassy, and then we got called by the marketing manager of the US embassy, and he said, see, you guys should have come straight to me. Then we'd have managed it differently. Now that they have put a rejection stamp, nobody can actually overrule it. So we were disappointed, but he said like, we'll make an effort, but nothing was happening. The days were passing, the course had started already there. We tried different levels in the government to see how it can be done, but nothing was happening. We even contacted the chief secretary of Tamil Nadu, and that person said, even my own son's visa got rejected and I couldn't do anything about it. So you just have to wait and come after 6 months is what he said. Then we were completely given up that we'll get a visa. At that point, the US embassy called the chief secretary saying that we want to increase the security around the embassy because of this recent incident. We want to come and meet you. That person could have said, give my son visa and come. But he said, give the visa to those two boys from Satya Sai institution and then come and meet me. And at exactly 3 o'clock, for the first time, generally they don't give it in hand. Nowadays they give it in hand, but those days it used to be couriered. You had to, and the courier address was Puttaparthi, so it had to be couriered to Parthi. But first time they themselves came and handed it over to us at 3 o'clock and went for their meeting. And Swami, when we conveyed this to Swami, he smiled and said, let them go on, proceed further. So at 3 o'clock we received, and we tried looking up for tickets. We got a ticket from Singapore to LA, but Chennai to Singapore, there was no seats available. Those days you didn't have the online bookings. It had to be a hard copy. So we contacted some of our devotees from Singapore, who happened to be the personal physician of the chairman of Singapore Airlines. So the chairman himself faxed a letter saying, with the ticket, saying that the ticket will be sent on the airline which is coming to Chennai. And with the fax ticket, we went to the airport. So 3 o'clock we got it. 5 o'clock we were in the airport waiting for the flight. And when the counter people saw this ticket, they said, the ticket is with us, sir. We are upgrading you to business class. So the journey with Swami is a business class travel, not an economy class. He'll take care of all your comforts. With all this, we reached US, and till then we had heard of the term called fatigue. Like once you go to a different time zone, you don't get sleep very easily. And this was, we were to go and hit the ground running. When we had to go and start the course, because the course had already started. But the best part was there was no jet lag at all, in the sense that it was as if like we were there for more than a month in that place without jet lag. We had terrific sleep that night, and next day morning we went to the university, and everything just fell in place. We got a dorm for ourselves, and we were staying there. We went and met our academic dean, and he said that, come, let's review the course details for you. And he was saying that total of 54 credits for the course. And we asked him, sir, we would want to go back in a year's time. he looked at us and said, this is a 2 years course, how can you go back in a year? Then he said, even if you take the maximum allowed credits, you will still have 12 credits that will be left. So you have to wait for the next year and do that, he said. And then we were disappointed. We said, how can Swami's words not come true? Then we went, and next day, after a week or so, he called us again and said, there is a provision that if you have done similar subjects at a master's level program, there is a provision to carry forward those credits. And when we went through the syllabi, there was 3 courses which we had done in environmental science. As a science students, we had compulsory. We used to crib for those classes, but they were compulsory, and we had went through them. So those 9 credits got carried forward, but still he said, you still will not be able to graduate because we were late. We joined in the fall semester. The summer credits were left behind. There was some prerequisites, the accountancy course, which was to happen prior to the starting of the course. We missed that. So he said that is compulsory thing for you to graduate, and that is given only in summer. So you'll have to wait and get that through at that time and then go. So we are thinking like Swami's words cannot go wrong, but it looks like Swami wanted to keep us happy. So he said 1 month, 1 year, and send us off. So one day we were doing bhajans. Like we have a lot of junk mail in our email boxes nowadays. So those days we used to get a lot of junk mail in the regular mail box. The postman rang the bell, and I went out. There was nobody out at the time. He had left by the time. So I took the mail. I said all regular junk mail, and I was about to throw. One paper fell down. One advertisement fell down, and that was Accountancy 101 that was being offered in a nearby university. So I showed my friend that this is a thing, can we do something about it? So we went and showed it to the dean. He said, if you are able to do that without affecting the credits here, we should be able to carry forward, he said. So we went and met the dean of that university. It was San Bernardino University. It was more than an hour distance from this university. So that person said, no sir, the course has already started. It's already 20 days since the course has started, and we cannot take you. Then, as usual, we told our story of the work that is being done by our institutions, and that we would like to go back to those institutions. She was very impressed, and she said, if the teacher accepts, I will allow you. So we went and told the same story to the teacher. She was very happy to have us as her student. Till then, we had heard in the post-graduation, we had heard our MBA boys cribbing about accountancy. Those who have done science and come, they say that it's a very difficult subject, and like we were mortally scared about it. The best part was we did financial management before doing the accountancy. And I think like Swami says that when my will is there, everything is very easy. Though we were late to join the course, we ended up teaching all our classmates in the course, and it was as if we knew it was in our blood, accountancy was in our blood, and we got very good credits for that, and we were able to carry it forward. The beauty of it was the classes were so divinely planned that we finished our class and went to that university, 1 hour drive, and when we came back, the next class was there. So the gap was so perfectly placed by Swami that we could feel his hand. We completed the course, and then we were disappointed that graduation happens at the end of 2 years, because it's a 2 years course, we were able to get in all the credits. Now we had to do an internship, which is a 3-month internship within this 1 year. So we were able to finish our credits in 9 months, and we got internship in a Santa Maria Health Center, which was also, I think, divinely chosen in the sense that all the people there were very encouraging of us, and the CEO himself took us under his care, and we were able to go sit through their board meetings, which are never allowed for outsiders. And also, every department we went to, the manager taught us everything, how the department functions, which are very helpful even now for us. And the beauty is that Swami sent the graduation suit for us from Parthi through the elder who was taking care of us. We were thinking, Swami sent this suit, but we cannot graduate because we were planning to go back to Parthi after the course was done. And the dean called us and said, if you want to go back in a year's time, I have spoken to the vice chancellor of that university, and he has agreed for you to do the graduation walk before you graduated actually. So we did the graduation walk before we actually graduated from the university. We went from India on 18th, and on 16th we landed back in Bangalore, and we went straight to Parthi. And as soon as we reached, Swami was waiting for us in the veranda. We went and fell at Swami's feet. The first statement was, I told you will come in 1 year's time. You came 2 days earlier, he said. The first day, Swami doesn't believe in giving any breaks for you. So the next day itself, he said, you go and join. And he took us in Swami's car. Swami took us, and I had my postings in the ICU, cardiac ICU. That day, Swami went to see a patient in the cardiac ICU, and I didn't know that my postings were there. When I went there, he saw the patient, and while coming, he said, you stay back, and went back to this thing. And my first posting happened in the cardiac ICU. There are several experiences which we can keep narrating. I hope I'll get another chance to tell about the experiences that have happened post my coming back from the US in the hospital. I was telling, Swami is our eternal companion. Even now, to this date, we keep feeling his presence in the hospital. From the time the pandemic struck, we have had instances of Swami's footsteps appearing in his room. And also, our hospital was selected to be the COVID hospital. The government had announced it, and we had made all the arrangements to start taking the patients. And as all our boys we are used to, we made a card and we offered it to Swami, saying that, Swami, from tomorrow we are going to, there was a week ahead, we are going to start the COVID ward in a week's time. That day, Vibhuti appeared on it, and we thought, okay, Swami also wants us to start. We were apprehensive because cardiac surgery, neurosurgery, and COVID-19 don't go together. Any patient having COVID-19 has a cardiac surgery or neurosurgery, it's end of life for him. So we were very apprehensive of having to do both, either do cardiac surgery or either do COVID. It cannot be both. So we were praying to Swami to protect the patients and the staff. The day before we were to start the COVID wing, that day there was a double blessings on that card. There was a heap of vibhuti on the hospital picture in the card, completely covering it. And we didn't understand why the meaning of the double blessings. We thought, okay, Swami will take care of us. And the next day morning we got a call from the government saying that the admissions have reduced across the state. So we don't want to take your hospital. You can continue to do your other procedures. So as a COVID ward, it got cancelled. And we were very fortunate that though we are having several patients coming in, none of our staff got infected. But I think it was there in our karma that we should go through it. So when the pandemic is waning, we had a few instances of positivity both among the Vrindavan staff and also in our hospital. But now all of them have recovered and we are able to resume our work. I would like to finish with a song which was written by Swami. One of the things that Swami told the devotees when he was moving from Pata Mandir to the new Mandir, they were saying, Swami, we will miss you. Then he said, whenever you think that you are missing me, you should sing this song, he said. Marachiti vemo madhilo mammu Sainata Prabhuva, O Sainata Prabhuva, O Sainata Prabhuva. Margu cheritimi mamudari cherchumu, Margu cheritimi mamudari cherchumu, Manitavara Prabhuva, Kanava Sainata Prabhuva. The meaning of this song is, O Lord, have you forgotten us? And actually when some of our boys sang this in front of Swami, Swami did like this from, I have not forgotten you, he did like this from the stage. So we pray to Bhagavan to be with us and to take care of all the institutions, and we pray that this pandemic gets over and all our students get back to the institutions and all the patients are able to come and get treated, and we are able to continue to bask in His glory by way of teaching the students and also by way of serving the patients. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering myself at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Praveen is my batchmate and then roommate and a cupboard mate. So we shared the same room, B6. He had a table, I had a cupboard. Definitely when he started this talk, listening to the experiences of the devotees transports us back as if we are experiencing those moments. Indeed, Praveen, that was the case. We were all so lost because we know how mischievous our Swami is, and we could clearly see how we know the story. We have heard this many times, but at the same time, we were able to cherish one by one how Swami put a hurdle and removed it. As one devotee says, Swami's special characteristic, USP, is creative problem solving. Firstly, he creates a problem and then solves it. So he was doing that on and on and on in your life, and so beautiful. And his presence, like you beautifully said in the hospital, is there. We are able to feel his presence here. We are all hoping that the pandemic ends soon and our children come back to the campus. And we thank you so much for taking us back into the interview rooms, into Trai, right at Bhagwan's lotus feet. We now request you to conclude the session with Mangalarti. Sai Ram.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Satya Sai Hare, Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka, Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka, Pati Maheshwara. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Sasivadana Shri Sarva Pranapate, Swami Sarva Pranapate. आश्रितकल्पलतिका आश्रितकल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धवा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातापिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नागब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप जय श्री साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल हारति अंधुको मंगल हारति अंधुको मंगल गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण
समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति शांति शांति।
जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
जय।